Hello there, welcome to my second match of season 72. It's been a while, it's been a few weeks actually. I haven't been getting these scheduled at a good pace, but we're here now to play with Akuchi. See how it goes. Okay, I'm going to click this castle for YouTube. Now I'm going to click away from it. We have keep and quite a few treasures. We have collection, but not actually any spammable actions to speak of. I guess you could treat duplicates sort of like a whatever distant lands. Oh, that might work. Or at least it might be reasonable, though it's still not really very easy. Actually, it's way more than not very easy. It's very hard to get a bunch of those things in play due to the what is astrologers? Man, I guess I might as well put the duplicate up. We don't hit here. I mean, I'm trying to think whether that angle of trying to get a bunch of collections somehow even really works for anything. I don't really want a bunch of these, but 2 of them is probably okay. I mean, I don't want a bunch of them yet, I should say. Pirate does look pretty good. This may be a little weird. I guess I would do a silver and buy a duplicate, though I won't actually have to do that. Probably worth this. Okay. Do you just buy 1 billion of the pirates? I think it's okay to be eventually losing the coppers. I think that will pay off in the end. I guess you could argue that in general counterfeit may be a little bit counterproductive, but I'm gonna try another one of these. There's definitely a point where you think, oh, I would just play the duplicate and not call it on something. I think. I don't think buys a changeling. That's interesting. Not sure about that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do this. Don't fully. Really confused. Can I choose to make them sheep now? Whatever. I guess that's how it works. I don't really know the rules for this. You can, after they react, still choose to make them sheep, I guess. I don't know. Bit weird. Hmm. Bit wild. I guess Aku probably can split the collection. I have 5 collections already. So they could buy. Oh no, never mind. I'm probably gonna win the collection split for whatever that's worth. I don't hate, right? Because I got 3 here, and I had gotten 2 here. So that's 5. So that's 6 of them. And then I think we would start on the golds. I mean, we could do the. We do gold, we can buy province here. I'm a little skeptical still that you get a hand where you can like well, you could maybe. Didn't get to play the whatever's here. I have a points lead, so I immediately start thinking, oh, I can pile out something. But that's not necessarily the way to win here. We can lower the duplicates to 4 while getting 6 points, which is not crazy. We can also just get 2 golds and be even close. Or I guess the advantage here is we wouldn't gain a treasure, and we don't have any pirates. Oh wait, I shouldn't. Why did I just talked. I'm not gonna. Obviously, I'm not gonna ask for that. That was incredibly stupid. That was just so stupid that it's unbelievable. But it's done, so we can't. Obviously, we can't take it back. But whatever. I cannot believe I did that. I mean, I can't believe I did it because it's me. But 30 seconds after I said the reasoning for just buying a duplicate click on copper is unbelievable. That's okay. Still in a pretty good spot, you'd have to think. I don't know what happened there, but it doesn't look very good. I wonder if Aku would have enough. Well, the 4, that's pretty hard to do. But you could score some. Obviously, you have to take armories, I guess, if you want to do the collection points. I think Aku could have at least considered doing like a counterfeit instead, because you're never winning the collection keep anyway. And so if you do that, then you get to... Man, that copper buy was unbelievably stupid. It was crazy dumb. Crazy dumb. I don't think my next hand is all that likely to be able to pile. I mean, the aggressive thing is to go for like a double duplicate here. But obviously that's far from guaranteed. To make it 1, 2, 3, 4. If I have 10, I could do a gold, which would give me 1, 7, 10, 12. Would let me lower the dupe. So I'd lose a gold. I might not have the... Interesting. I think I don't really want to play a long game. I'm afraid Aku will just take all the keep points from me. That's my fear anyway. This does win, assuming Aku doesn't have enough points. Well, I don't know why I won that. I wouldn't say I deserved to win that by any stretch. I mean, I did reasonable things, but like, except for that one incredibly boneheaded thing. Because like Aku had 3 pirates in the next hand, and so if Aku wanted to play them, Aku was gonna have to like buy a copper, basically. Could have chosen not to, of course, but like then they're just passing a turn. Then I would have been having all. Then I had 3 pirates, so I would have. But I like it worked out fine. But I mean, wasn't convincing. Where do you go here, church? Is church ferry or overpay? Probably not super worried about it. It's not a great payload kingdom, but there is stuff here, of course. Swamp Hag could be like a little annoying, but probably not super annoying. I'm not sure. You can probably handle it. That doesn't mean it wouldn't hurt you some. It's just where the opportunity cost of it is a problem. We didn't find the goal. That's not ideal. Maybe I should have gone Swamp Hag over gold. I could have, of course, just gone Farrier again, which would have maybe let me King's Court. And well, I was hoping to kind of do that this turn, but whatever. Gotta wait on some of this stuff sometimes. Okay, this is like a 50-50 on finding the church, and it's gonna look pretty bad if we don't find the church. It's gonna look a lot worse. I don't. It'll be okay, but I would like to find the church. I wouldn't have minded having an investment also at some point. You could try like Silver Farrier overpay. I don't know. They didn't find their other church, so that's pretty rough for Aku. We don't have anything that is you do the Farrier draw and then you like get to play a gainer or something. So it's a little wheel spinning, right? If all you do is do the Farrier buys, because there's no action plays other than the church for a little trashing. You're not improving your deck except through your buys, because I don't have an investment or whatever. So it's not explosive in the way Farrier can be sometimes, just because we don't actually have anything to do in the action phase. to speak of. I should have bought quest for style points on that one turn. I didn't even think about that. I also was sitting there thinking that if I didn't draw a copper at the very start, of the turn 3, I guess, that I wouldn't be able to afford gold, but that wasn't actually true. Hopefully, I was saying, hopefully we don't draw the king's court. So, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna do this and hope. We're basically doing really crappy labs eventually, or maybe really crappy. I don't know what you call this deck, where it's cantrip on farrier and you get golds for money, or like mill catacombs for money. It's not a very it's not a very good deck, but it's the best thing you can do here, and otherwise you would be having to fight against that deck using swamp hags, and there's distant land. Like, there's just too many. There's just so much all VP for, like, I don't know, a non-King's Court deck to win. Even though the King's Court doesn't really play into the all VP very well at all, but it's still eventually going to be just a lot of money from just pure draw, basically. I'm not super behind in trashing either. A little bit, but not like hugely at this point, given that I just have only bought one trasher. Aki does get the catacombs there, which looks nice. Hopefully, okay, I can buy one. I don't know if there's anything. I was gonna say we're just gonna end up churching this crap here. Hopefully Aku hasn't found the catacombs. I would like that to be the case. Okay. But gonna have a good turn next turn. Obviously we're gonna church the King's Court. It's just whether we want to buy another church or whether we want to buy like a mill or a farrier overpay. All of which I think are reasonable looking, or an investment. Because we do need to kill these coppers, because we don't want to just deal with them over and over again. The church at least lets us set aside 3 and gives us some safety for future turns. Whether that's what we need or not, I don't know. So, okay. Okay, we don't want a king. We have 8. Should we get a King's Court or should we get a mill now? Oops. We could. Oh, whoa. Could go mill and farrier 1. That's not unreasonable. This draw may be a little sad. I'm gonna keep the estates for the moment. Okay. We want another King's Court here. Probably. I have to see what this turn does. I was gonna say we're probably ahead, maybe we're not. We're actually probably just pretty close. If I had to guess at this point. This is a spot where I would ideally count for deciding whether the copper trash on church is worthwhile or not. But I'm not going to do that. It's too much work. So I think I'll just probably not trash it this turn because we can set it aside anyway. I wonder if you get a mill. I wonder, yeah. Seems reasonable. I'm going to say no. We're getting 3, so if we do the mill, yeah, we can save a King's Court here, I guess. This is not ideal. We're not going to king. It's a bit of a bummer, even. Aku also didn't get to king though, so. Maybe he should have gone mill King's Court. I'm not sure. It was a little bit of an awkward money. $1 more would have been nice. Which I guess I could have had. No, I could not. I had all the coppers. That's okay. Still probably pretty good turn. Doesn't even king once. Okay. That's sort of helpful. Me. I don't know whether the payload here sucks. It just sucks. There's no 2 ways around it. There's something to be, the only thing that we haven't pursued in which I'm kind of curious about is whether it's worth it to get a swamp hag just to quest it. But that takes a little while to pay off for sure. I'm not super duper convinced that that's all that great, but I think we gotta do this. Ooh, this way discard. Okay. We're hitting 3 of these. So like this catacombs won't. Just whether we want to. I mean, we have to do it anyway. Well, what is this mill? Right now we have 8 cards in the discard. We play this mill some. We probably want to save 3 cantrips, or at least 2 cantrips in an estate. Something. We could mill for a little more money, but like we could mill 1 more time of one of these, or 2 more times. Like one of them is pure draw and one. It's a little, the mill math is different because of the King's Court, right? One of them is hand size is decreasing, but then the other plays you're like, right now there's 7, I believe. So okay. So we didn't necessarily have to. We could even maybe discard another time. We're up to 18 here, which is like. How much money can Aku make? Not that much. Or we could even be up to 19 pretty easily. I think I should probably have had another dollar. Maybe not. Even just another King's Court without a mill is pretty good. I think I want to go to 19 though and do King's Court, Province Mill. This could backfire. Okay, we're okay. It's all the King's Court. I say we're okay. We're like probably okay. How much money to pile? 4, 12, 26. Because nothing's cheaper than 14, right? The churches aren't cheaper. The estates aren't cheaper. King's Court is still the 3rd lowest pile, money-wise anyway. And gain-wise, of course. Who maybe is kind of double province, which isn't too scary. Because you're not. It's just not that scary because you're not catching up on payload or anything. And I can play pretty conservative if that's the case. Like if that's the limit, the money is around double. Maybe they have, I don't know how many coppers they've trashed, but they might have closer to double and mill or something. They're 2 silvers. There's also fountain points, which are totally doable at some point. But, you know, you have to burn the buys to do it. It is something you could think about it, upping the buys on that. I don't know, if you lower the thing, if you don't score this turn while lowering something, then probably I can win. I mean, I can't make $26, I don't think, on my turn, but I can make a little less than that. If you don't actually score here, it's probably a problem. Okay. So they lowered the fares, so it's a 24, right? 1, 4, 10, 24. I probably should have, it'll be fine, but I probably should have played like a farrier first. Okay. So I get to play 7 actions, 7 non-king's courts, 1, 2, I have 5 left. The mills give us 6 apiece. That's 18. That should be enough. One, 3, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do need the buys. Okay. Not sure exactly where it got different there. Obviously, we opened like a little different, but it wasn't super different plans apart from that in any way. Not a lot of draw here. Not really, hardly any draw. I mean, there's like 2 fake-ish draws. And then fakish gains and then forager for buy. Man, this is. But there is a lot of alt VP, which is always going to make you wonder if you need to get ready for it, so to speak. You can. The problem is there's not even a pile of cantrips. It's just the old maps. I guess Distant Shore is pretty good for what you eventually want to do here. Just buy 2 old maps just to have them. You almost want to do that, to be honest. But as first player, you can kind of afford to wait, I think. Voyager is like fine. Voyage, it's fine. There's some things. Even if you're just buying I mean, it's just low powered. You could play for Voyage and buy a ferry or something. You have to build this just. Also, the Forager stuff is your payload, but. Or at least a good portion of your payload, but you have to. Want to see something crazy? Was it crazy? I don't know. Did it blow anybody's minds? Oh my gosh. This is gonna be. I just feel like you have to do it. Could be totally wrong. Like it could be you can just play money-ish up to the castles and just like have the castles and be happy enough with that. Maybe get a silver mine and have money to buy things. But by golly, I'm gonna try and draw cards. See what kind of world we can live in here. You can make Forager worth $10 billion here. But if I hit 5, I would take a silver mine. I'm not really sure how I'm going to hit 5 because I haven't done anything to make that possible. You can make it 9 even with the sunken treasure. Do we want Voyage? Does anybody want Voyage? Who's Voyage better? Who's Voyage going to be better for? That's a real question. That I do not have an answer to. I think Sunken Treasure is quite good. I didn't rotate it because I can't actually buy a Sunken Treasure very easily, and Aku has a way better shot at it. So I didn't want to make it more easy. But if I have 2 old maps, I'll probably rotate both to the to the Distant Shores. Even though I can't buy them either. I maybe should have put Ferry on this one. Don't know. Also here, I don't know if you rotate or not. Oh, Aku was thinking earlier because considering humble. See, and now they've done it. Which is fine. I think there's a chance we can play the voyage. So I guess we go through here. Guess I wouldn't mind getting the crumbling castle. Probably have their silver. They probably have. Couldn't hardly miss 5. You know. This is pretty nice too. Assuming they have like a copper. If they have 2 coppers and they can crumbling and trash, that's really nice. They've gotten some good sunken, some good secluded shrine draws, which it wasn't like they didn't have anything wild, but it worked out nicely for them to get the like the double estate right off the bat. Nothing insane though. I also haven't been looking for enhances, but there may have been an enhance somewhere. Would have made sense. Yeah, I guess they're just so they're getting. I mean, that was a wild voyage turn. I don't know what to play here or go for here rather. I have a money problem. It probably isn't really going to get fixed. Because I can buy a silver. Or I could do the enhance thing. We have the usual problem here of I want to trash that and buy a golem. Okay. There's something here. Don't know if it's any good. There is something here. I think it's going to ultimately just take me too much time. You can sunken treasure for a golem. That's fun. That makes my potion look like a real dingus move. Am I gonna be able to afford a sunken treasure? I would sure like to try one. So the last card's an estate. Kinda sucks. Oh wait. Do you care if I rotate that? Thank you. Guess we go to trigger. Okay. This is all right. Or it would have been if we had found the... Guess we can toss the forager because the golem, we can play the golem to get it. We just redrew it. Maybe I should have rotated back to voyage. Too late now. We could take small castle, which is not that great for me. Do we want the prince? Do we want the swap? They did have golem right here, which is unfortunate. They're pretty thin though. This is a cool kingdom. Kind of awful, but it is very cool. Yeah, I should have had these on voyage rather than... Because this is going to let them get maybe 2 of these. Maybe just 1. Aku probably buys a swap. Not sure. One of my big problems is just that Aku basically has everything I have. There's a really good chance that this golem finds like Prince and the Prince does nothing. Which would suck. It's what it is what it is, as they say. This second forager, yeah. Well, let's try and... This is so scary. Should we do it? I guess we have a chance still to... This is so scary. We got to do it because we got to believe in ourselves or something. This didn't really work out all that well, but... So that doesn't count against whatever. Hmm. Hopefully they don't have the okay. Secluded shrines in La La Land. I really need like a silver mine. I don't know. This has been well. It's only turned 10. Not that low. They get a prince that was promised. Or do they get this small? They still always have this. Oh, the small castle is pretty good for them situation. And I do not have. Never will. If Aku is friendly, Aku would trash the humble castle and a silver. Really get us going. My fear is, I mean, if I get the expensive castles, then we're still okay, but it's hard to do that when they have as good a deck as you and they have small castle and crumbling castle. That makes that particular goal difficult. But we'll try. You know, you got to try. All you can do. And it is true that if we do get, it's a little unfortunate. You can't. Maybe on a voyage turn we can get the sunken. There's like a world where you can get the sunken treasure opulent, but it's a little hard to manage here. I do think if Aku was a nice person, he would have trashed this as silver. But it's just my opinion. It's one person's opinion. I have a prince forager. I'm just gonna like live and die by some horrible opening hand there. We should have like estates and coppers for a while, but certainly not guaranteed. And it's across a void, you know, it's across 2 turns. We need. I'm just worried about the points. It's these. There's not actually a pile problem, to be honest. Getting that. I wonder if I had a spot to make ferry on this thing in order to, you know, have that, but I could for sure believe it to have swap option there, but hopefully we can get both of these anyway. This is gonna leave it. So we could go for the. I don't actually know which one of these is more likely, or if either of them is even particularly likely at all. I don't know. I don't love this idea. And I think I didn't make all the greatest choices ever. This is obviously not great. But we can see what we see and then rotate away again. We could buy one. It'll give Aku the last one for sure. But it's still pretty good. Guess not for sure. Depends on if Aku has a golem. Why do they have a golem? They only have one golem. Why do they have it in their hand? Makes me so mad. Maybe I'm supposed to buy coppers pretty soon. So the estates will run, the castles will run, and the foragers could run, I guess. And this pile is less likely to. Maybe we could ferry it and make it happen. If you get a really big hand and you can swap into foragers, I mean, not that I have a bunch of swap fuel. I just simply don't, but yeah, especially if they're ferried, you just have to play. You don't even really need them to be ferried. You just have to play foragers to get the. Problem will be whether you have more points than your opponent or not at that point. That'll be the question / issue. Oh, they returned the prince. I'm like, I thought they had a prince. Didn't read the log. Gotta swap. Swaparooski. We'll swap it. Okay, we're not out of it. 2 golems is actually 2 golems in the prince plate is actually pretty helpful. We at least have as many distant shores. So we're actually looking okay. It's just the nature of this deck is so play golem and see what happens. Like I have a golem down here in the bottom, but there's probably 2. It's probably like at least possible for me to draw it off like distant shore or something, but it's also possible that that I flip it. There we go. Now Aku's being friendly. Does have a distant shore and blade as a golem. I could get a prince again. And swap for distant shore, okay. But doesn't play the. I don't know how greedy I need to be with trying to save estates for opulent. See, like, this is exactly what I was talking about, but not a huge deal, just slightly annoying. We know now we have a golem in this bottom 4, which is tempting to just leave. So these are gone. We have we could trash the gold even. I guess it's a question of what. We trash the gold, it's 5, so that's already enough to buy the Grand Castle and get 3 points, which is nice. And then we would have maybe an option to enhance the Grand Castle or the opulent, not the enhance the Grand Castle. The question is whether the gold is like worth keeping around. But oh yeah, we have the distant shores in play. That's cool. Love that for me. Okay. We just blow up the sunken treasure and try and hit the what is the play order here though? So like right now, an opulent find doesn't get there. Forager find does. Guess I could have just gone straight to Forager. Now we can't. Now opulent or Forager gets us the king. Is nice. Do we just lose the estate? Do we lose the swap? Do we buy these things as a way to... We do have quite a few estates we can kill. We only have one forced forager, right? It's not like we need to add junk during this graining phase just because of one forager. Probably. Maybe one. I'm gonna add one. Okay. This is a not good hand, but not too surprising. We're gonna have $12. So we could enhance the haunted castle and buy a province. That only nets us 2 points for that part, but still pretty good. Oh no, wait, you can't do a victory card. I'm glad I didn't end up having to do that thing I kept talking about that doesn't actually work. Okay. Did we ferry the foragers? Guess that I always think ferry. I was thinking ferry is like asymmetric, but it's not, or symmetric, but it's not. I can put it there and it doesn't hurt me. So we're gonna have a shot at the forager pile out, I would say. Aku may have a pretty good turn, but so that's crumbling after all this time. Didn't get to use small too in too exciting a way. I guess getting another swap would be a little weird to lower the foragers unless you really think you can score 11 points and pile. I don't think you can do. So you almost have to get swap. Guess you could ask for an undo and return a forager. I'm not in a bad spot at all to kind of just buy the provinces, to be honest. Exciting. Wonder if they'll buy a copper. This isn't a very quick click. Well, hopefully it's an awful one. And that's not awful. Aku's gonna take the lead here. Oh. Interesting. You think we could triple? Not impossible. What order do we do this in? That's a little scary, but okay. We can lower the foragers quite a bit here. But I cannot resist going for 3 piles. I simply don't have it in me to not go for it, even when it's stupid. There's a coin of the realm in there. I think this is guaranteed. What a fun game. I say that when I'm on the winning side. When I'm on the losing side, I talk about how awful golem reveals were or whatever. Because I'm awful. What do we have? This is something. Prince your merchant camp. Wow, this is a kingdom. What do you do? Silver money lender? I mean, you can do swindlers, just like it's probably very good actually, but there's just, you know, chance of collision. Jeweled egg can get hit by swindler, which would be pretty nice here. The loots would all be mostly quite good. There's grave robber cultist stuff, which is pretty good. Printing merchant camp is not actually terrible. I do hit the double 5, which is busted. I maybe should have end. I could believe that. Or you could just get lucky and do this. I don't know. It's not bad to take the points when it's 1,000,000 points. Honestly. In a game that maybe isn't going to last that many turns, you know, it's a pretty reasonable thing to do. Just don't know exactly when to do it. It's like 8 point. I mean, we may get a few more of these things gone, but this was a really good merchant camp. I kind of don't. Grave Robber probably these 3 points go. I'm not sure about any of the other ones actually making it onto the defiled shrine pile. Do we want to, let's do merchant camp. I was going to say, do we want a jeweled egg, but I think probably not. Do like the grave robber there. Do I like it enough to buy one right away? Or do I want another? I guess I'm not going to draw the cultist, so not really that big a deal. That's a bit of a bummer. They didn't end anything, they just got to it. It's fine. I guess the only good thing here is that, like, you could buy merchant camps and probably hit 5 every turn just from ruins and merchant camp, which might be a little compensation for your situation. Okay. I don't have 5 yet. Otherwise, I would really like to kind of play the survivors, but I have a lot of grave robbers, which I do like. I can't hit. Wish I had 3 grave robbers. That would be good. I like Aku's position at this point. Seems nice. This maybe should have been instead of playing the survivors, maybe should have been buy a merchant camp or whatever. I think Aku's probably correct to just go straight to province here. I don't know that there's a whole bunch of reason to wait. Now, if you have your other grave robber here, you may have like options of whether you're trashing cultist again or just putting a cultist on top. Yeah. Yeah. I like this. I mean, I don't know exactly what the hand. There was obviously some choice there, but it looks, reasonable to me. I just want to play that just for the joy of it. I think just the sheer number of grave robbers and cultists in Aku's deck relative to mine is gonna tell in the end. I think the play, I don't think like Aku will be like gaining province buying 5 on a single turn, and I'll be like some turns gaining province, some turns buying 5. Like, this is not very good hand. This is like maybe you get, I mean, I almost have 8, but I don't have 8, so not worth anything. I'm ahead, but I wouldn't say that's worth a whole lot. There's not a pile necessarily going anywhere. The jeweled egg was pretty silly, but it was basically just a buy off the back of wanting to play survivors, which wasn't unreasonable. Whether the jeweled egg is better than nothing is more of a question. Probably it wasn't. That last shuffle where Aku gets 3 ruins also didn't help me much. Otherwise, I had the much better 3-4, turn 3-4 for sure. I had double 5. I think I should have gone cultist in rather than double cultist, though I didn't actually get punished for that on the next reshuffle, so it's hard to say that that would have changed the outcome. I didn't get punished for it, though. Maybe there was some cycling opportunities I didn't take advantage of. Because I still, the next turn, I got to play cultist, then buying in and put it in for the cultist and the moneylender, so it wasn't too problematic. He's a 2-point curse, not totally sure about that, but probably at least okay. Looking for that grave robber if I could find it. I wouldn't complain about that. This isn't too exciting. There it is. Okay, now we're kind of in this, do you put the in? Or do you put in, or do you just take duchy, you know? We're tied with 3 provinces left, so it's probably whoever gets 2 provinces, which makes you think probably need the in. Aku has a really good shot though at any point of just being able to double province. Or not really good, but an okay shot. It wouldn't be surprising. So I'm in a bit of a weird spot because I probably should not, I didn't have, I'll be honest, I was not deck tracking. I think I knew there was another merchant camp down here, but I didn't. This is basically too many villages for what we're going to end up probably wanting to do realistically. Oh. Aku has $5, which I don't know if he does. You can almost surely just buy an in and put in a grave robber and a $5 action for the next turn. I would have thought. Oh, they didn't. Oh, they did double. Okay. They doubled, but without putting the causing a shuffle. So they just did an in rather than a cultist. Yeah. This is for sure winning. Like easy winning. You can almost probably guarantee well, not with in on top. No, you could. I mean, like, you could probably have 2 merchant camps on top and 3 actions and just do Way of the Sheep to guarantee 8. Yeah, see? That's what that is for. I like that. That's cool. No grave robber. Otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. We weren't going to double province, and they're never missing province, so. They're doing it that way, see? That's what I said. That's how I steal back a little bit of momentum while losing, as I predict what the opponent is doing. I haven't been clicking on the castle. My apologies to YouTube. Okay. Wasn't readying up for me, so. I don't know if it did for anyone else, but it sure didn't for me. Did I say GG? I maybe forgot to say GG. That was my bad. Okay, I don't know what we have. Chapel, Alice Keep, Craftsman Hunting Lodge, that's always pretty appealing. Question is whether they can buy, well actually the issue is, I would say the issue is that you can probably outscore that with Keep very, very, very easily. So that's a problem. I think it's probably an insurmountable problem. I think that is going to mean we get some craftsmen, but not pile them unless for some reason the state of the game has developed to a point where we think that is compelling. But maybe we don't even maybe we just have a captain. Captain is not that great here. There's no cantrips, but it's okay-ish. If you can pillage their lone hunting lodge away or something, that's pretty good. Yeah, this is the problem. The craftsman is a problem because if they have more of like, and the craftsman doesn't really want treasures. It could get charms and it could get silvers, but other than that, it doesn't really want them. I guess neither does the other deck, except the other deck probably is okay with like some TR and gold. You could try it. Like I said, it's not you're gonna want the villages anyway, so it's not like you're locked out of playing with anything. I just kind of don't expect you to be able to rush the duchies down. Keep and palace. Keep. Really impactful. Palace. It's palace. Do you go for the cavalry? I mean, if you draw the chapel, it's not even that nice, right? Maybe you're supposed to open craftsman. I could believe that. I could believe that. Okay. Don't love this, but whatever. We can cavalry into the hunting lodge. We got 50-50. We have to try it. Just if we hit it, we probably get or then we have a decent shot of getting a chapel crash, and if we don't, we get something. Why is another TR interesting? Oh, I'm sad. The chapel differential right now is... This is awful because I'm going to draw the chapel but not have anything to hit on it. Guess I'm going to do this. Man, the trashing here is brutally different already. Well, that partly was my choice. Gotta at least acknowledge that. But the bottom decking stuff was not my choice. Well, they're very clean. I don't know what their long-term plans are, but they are very clean. That's probably worth something. Okay. I think I can play from here. Just because this isn't that exciting. It's not gaining plays, the main thing. Well, I have 5. No, not yet. I do wish I had opened Craftsman Chapel. That's okay. Done is done. Hmm. Is there a cavalry in the trash? So confused. Oh. Was that can't there's well, that seems weird. Alright, we'll just do our best. Our only hope here is to outgain and play them. Isn't a super great hope at this stage, but it is what we've got. Mostly because the captains are there. That's gonna be a little problem. We also may just get stuck here, which would be awful. We're gonna play. Let's just do it this way. Hmm. Um. I have 10 craftsmen, which is a lot. We should be able to get Charm and Tiara when we do our turn. We have to watch a little bit on Oh, there are a few things we have to watch. You get charm, Tayar, and silver points quite easily. We can't lower so far that they have threat to pile. We have to watch out for that. But we probably try and lower the bazaars a little bit. Well, bazaars and honey lodges a little bit. Well, we can check it. I mean, if this is... Yeah, this won't work yet. We have 3 extra gain. We have 10 gains, but... We're not ready to go all out yet. We'll have to wait a turn to do it. And hope they can't get 6. They didn't really get the stuff to do it, to be honest. You would have wanted more charms, so they didn't really prepare to do it. But we don't want to make it too easy for them. Certainly. 5 is 25. Like that, we don't have to necessarily worry about that. Right now they could play charm twice, so that would be like 3. I don't necessarily want to go for the points yet. 1, 2, 3. Like we can't. I don't think we can lower these things anymore. And it's a little scary to go for points. That was maybe a really bad shuffle to trigger. Well, it had the horses, right? Pillage was maybe too fancy. It is 5 points, but I'm getting 4 seemed pretty doable. 4 5s, so I didn't feel like I could lower further than this. Maybe they can even get 5 5s. I don't know. If they were going to be able to do that, though, I was never piling. I don't believe. So we'll see what exactly they have, but I'll have 5 gains beyond the pile out. Like if I can play everything, is a decently sized if. I guess the good thing is if they increase their score, like they can defend points by taking I don't know. They can defend points by taking provinces, or they can defend points by taking more of the treasures, but then I can sort of pick and choose which thing I'm going for depending on what they go for. Because if they take provinces, then it's easier for me to take the treasures away. If they take treasures, then I can take duchies. And if they take duchies, I can take treasures. So, yeah, we'll see. My first charm gain is 5 points. My first tiara gain is 5 points. The second of those are 5 points. The first silver gain is 5 points. So there's at least 25 points there that I can get off 5 craftsman plays. Maybe they have a pile out. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, so that takes away the tiara one. Obviously, the duchies just by themselves, which I cannot get all of, but I could get 5 of. 15 points. We still have the charm silver. The tiara one is pretty much not in range anymore. So we've got like 15 from charm and silver, and then 2 from... So we can get about 21. So actually, I think we can't win if they go province duchy. Well, then I can shift to... Yeah, okay. You know what I should have done? Well, I for sure shouldn't have gotten a bazaar last turn. It should have been all honey lodges. Because then it would have been much harder to just like empty the bazaars than leaving one honey lodge. I should have all honey lodges. Okay, so if they take a duchy, then I can go honey lodge and 6 duchies and a charm, and that win. All this stuff is speculative because I can dud. I also stopped counting the spoils points, which was wrong. So yeah, I forgot about the spoils. But like the honey launch cycles can easily dud, especially because I have to figure out when I want to play some of these terminals. And I put in a Dutchie. I mean, I have a lot of stop guards, so I could easily just crap out. Or have a sequence where I don't have enough actions when I want to play all of the things. Or I think I misplayed my previous turn. Okay. 21. Yeah, this may be not finishable for me. They bought a silver also, so actually that is fine. $21 plus 10. There are 2 silvers. Oh, and there's the pillage. Let's not forget the pillage. There's still, I was going to say, there's still a honey lodge in here. Oh, we got to put this in. $21. That was not ideal. I have 1 Silveracos, 2. So I have no charms. Acos, 3 charms. We've got to empty the duchies. We got to put this honey lodge back in the shuffle. I don't think we play for a dud or anything. I think you just try and see if you can win it. Not really very good odds. Very lucky. But either craftsman or spoils would have worked. Okay, well, I don't think I should have won that, but Aku did kind of let me get away with it by not getting 1 craftsman or 2 craftsmen or whatever. Okay. Was there a treasure they could have gotten instead of silver or like a state or something? Because the silver, I guess that wouldn't have helped. Um, what do we got? Delve. What's rapid expansion? Oh, Delve. I've never done Delve rapid expansion. That's gonna be funny. Uh, I don't know if he had enough buys for that. Anyway, well, it worked out for me. There's a lot of angles to look at, and I certainly didn't cover them all. Even cover very many of them. Do you take a shrine? I guess you have $1 now. If you're planning to take a shrine, you do it now. There's like no aren't really extra gains. So you just delve. Is it just like the first person to do that? It has maybe a war chest that you can play sometime. I don't know. I wonder who has like the better positioning to try and do the rapid expansion stuff. Which player, I mean. Poet is good for that. I almost wanted to buy a I don't know. If I have Necro here, I get to do it, but Aku is probably going to get to do it. Maybe I get to do it. Nope, not me. I'm pretty sure you're just supposed to delve copper here. Like, I'm pretty sure. I wish I had a T-Mog down, but I drew it. I still think it was right to try and do that this way, but it's a little annoying. You can start these chains of like calling T-Mog on silver to get a T-Mog, and then it'll get played, and it'll also be plus action for the next turn, or even just on a poet. You like ultimately can't go beyond like duchies or having mill threat. But you know, those are good things to have here. I'm gonna hit my war chest with poet. Honestly, it's all fun. It'd be fine if poet doesn't hit and we just go to clean shuffle. What did they call it, T-Mog? They got a war chest? That's reasonable. Yeah, war chest is just a lot of flexibility here for... You can honestly just start I don't know. There's a lot of gains that are good here. Can't really cut anything off totally. So my hope is basically just to have maybe a province lead. There's really not a lot else going on. But they're already buying a province, so. I thought they had another war chest. Oh, that one's set aside. Okay. Well, that looks about right. Two war chests and second player here is gonna be hard. I really don't like dismantle, but I mean I understand it. I just don't know if there's gonna be time for it to matter in the way that you want it to. Certainly I hope there's not time for that. But this stuff is all gonna be a bit problematic. There's still a rice broker you could gain. You could gain cartographer. Honestly, cartographer or poet make more sense than journeyman in some ways. I'm probably just gonna full on whiff. Aku has a real deck. I don't know if I had, what did I do? That triple delve copper nonsense. If I get like a journeyman or something. Do I compete? I also had killed my necro, which makes that angle a little worse. I'm a little, I think I would have actually gone for cartographer poet on that last chest. Would have at least thought about it. Or rice broker. Would have considered it. Who's in a war chest? Maybe the play. Don't know what's in hand there. The gold's good. The T-Mug's good. If I had a province in hand, I could almost, I mean, not with this particular hand, of course, but we would have almost been in range for a pile out where the war chest gets a duchy or an estate, you know. I mean, they're gonna play a war chest which has the same option, so it's a little different, but I do not have a province in hand and I don't have anything exciting going, so think I'm pretty well cooked for the next turn, where Aku's going to easily be able to. Oh, just doesn't lower. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. They only have one T-Mog down. No, but they're gonna have two. So the question is, do I just play for Aku not having a province in hand? What are my outs here anyway? Guess we can see what this says. I mean, I could wait. I could get another T-Mog. I don't have any draw, but there's a province down in here I could mill away. I didn't really know my deck though, so turns out there's not down here. Who would have thunk? Maybe I've put the fear of God in Aku. That actually doesn't matter. The fear of God doesn't matter because I don't have the thing to do. Well, that's unfortunate. So it's looking like it should have been Journeyman and see what we could find, and then Aku would have not been able to do province again. I honestly kind of thought there might be a province down in here. I didn't think it out. Yeah, I mean, if we, because Aku still can end. Like if we just do Duchy, if we have a Journeyman set aside, then Aku can't end it yet. But the score would be the same. I wouldn't have 3 T-Mogs. The only nice thing here is that the only nice thing here is that Aku's pulling T-Mog off. I don't actually know if there's anything I could have even had threat on here anyway. Probably not. I can't believe I never got any of the good cards. Just got silvers. The T-Mogs for me are really only good for province threat, but I don't have stuff to turn into duchies. So it's like, what am I even doing here? What is this going to be? Okay, Team on Gold. I thought it might even be a state. This is probably pretty safe. Anything they can do. Really nice war chest board. Yeah, I would have need to have a poet in hand and a province. Then I could have tied because Aku didn't take his state here. But I don't have either of those things in hand. I don't really even have those in deck. So yeah, about that. Why would you name? I guess if you already had a province in hand, you could name province. I didn't have. I don't think we can go back and check that one turn. Okay, we didn't eat up, but I can. I didn't even. It's 5. Urkel, who is crushing it this season. But we got to 1 under, I guess. So hopefully we can salvage this season a bit and try and not demote at least. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you all later.